Good morning. Day 577 of the quarantine. Oh boy, never mind. Don't get me started on that. Let's take a little break away from the knives for an hour or two this morning. To show y'all what I did. Y'all remember those ugly white boat seats I had in the boat? Well, there's one right there. What do you think? Now, I was gonna not use these, but one of them I'm not gonna use. I said, well, I'll just get me 3 new seats, because that's all I want is 3. Because I'm gonna mount one to where it can be moved. This will be the captain's seat behind the steering wheel. It'll stay fixed, it won't move. I know how much they are at Walmart, the seats, and those are really cheapos. They're not much good. I know how much they are at the big stores, Academy, Bass Pro, those places. Very expensive. I said, well, I'll look online. I know I can find them fairly reasonable there. $100 a piece for what I want, like something like this. So I got me a can of OD green paint. Now this is the kind that's supposed to stick good to plastic and everything. I took the cushions off of this, cleaned it real good with some bleach water, painted it, and this material, see, I think I already had this piece. This piece, Sarge brought me a big bag last year. He brought it over in case we needed it for making our little bags for camping gear and stuff like that. So I had plenty. I recovered this one and my 2 old seats that I've used for years. They're still in fairly good shape. The material was just getting really faded and worn. So I covered those too with the same stuff. So, what is my saying? Don't throw anything away. Now I've got 2 more decent seats that can be recovered one day in the gear room. I refuse to pay $100 for a boat seat. I'm not going to do it. Even if I was a man of means, I would not pay that much for a stupid boat seat. Not when you already got one and can fix it. Now, agenda for today, I'm going to piddle around with these knives and get done with this 10-piece set. I've got some steel to go on the forge. I got my brother Fred is on the way sometime this morning with the tractor. We're going to bust the garden. And I got something else to do. I got all kind of stuff to do. Matter of fact, I hear something out there. That might be him. Nope, wasn't him. Alright, when we get going with all that kind of stuff, I'll show you some of that too, if you would like to see it. Now this tool here, you have to really concentrate and be careful. Now these aren't sharpened yet for a reason. So this buffer will catch it sometimes, no matter how careful you are, and it'll throw it off to the side. Just like that. I rubbed them down with steel wool. And buffing them out with some white compound. Then we'll go sharpen them. Clean them up and oil them. And we're almost finished. Well, there we go. Got the garden getting busted up. His little brother Fred brought his brother-in-law with him. There's Fred up there. He's waving at you. Now with my hand tiller, that would take hours. Do this little section here, a little section over there. We'll go over and do a little section for Amy. Pretty cool, huh? Alrighty, just like that, the garden is busted up. Much thanks to Brother Fred and his brother-in-law. Sorry, buddy, I forgot your name. Y'all know me with names. I met him several times before, I just don't remember. That is the green bean patch right there. Still got to clean these raised beds out. And that is the pea patch. They also broke for us over here in Amy's yard. Broke them a little square over there. They're gonna have them a little garden. And what else? When they got here, I was sharpening knives. Let me get back to that. Well, peas are planted. 4 rows. 2 rows of okra. 1 long row of squash. The rest of that section is going to be the tomatoes, or maters, however you want to say it. Let's see, I hired me some help. I got my Amy girl. I tried to get her to get out of the sun and go in, but she won't. She's helping me clean out the raised beds. Mama was out here a while ago, she had to go in. Let's see, over here is going to be green bean patch. And where I had the peppers year before last, all that's going away. I'm gonna put them over here somewhere else. Now I'm gonna get Amy to hold the camera for me and show y'all something. It's time. I drug it out. Turn it that way a little bit. Down. Not that much. There you go. Up a little bit. I'm teaching her how to run the camera. Been a long time since y'all saw it. The okra picking hat, as my buddy Phil calls it. There we go. I'm a homesteader again. With everything going on in the world, we cannot just let this ground sit here and just sit. We got to plant. Amy and her husband and the babies, they planted their little garden earlier today. They got just about the same thing we got planted. They're starting with a small garden because it's their first one. And next year they'll have a big garden. So between all of us, we should have plenty to eat. You reckon? Yeah. I'm sending babies out here and catch rabbits for us to eat too.
Yeah, there you go. You just can't let them see you catch them.
No, they gotta catch them.
Well, I mean, you can't let them see that they gotta eat them.
Well, you used to help me clean rabbits.
That's true.
Yeah. Now, when the kids were all babies, all little, that's the only one that would get out in the garden and help me. The boys would fuss and whine. Baby girl fuss and whine. I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. Amy was always out here with me. And she's still out here with me. One more thing we're going to look at. And we're supposed to get a big bunch of rain tomorrow. Maybe some severe weather. Now, I didn't trim these this year. These are dewberries. We call them blackberries. If I call them blackberries, I will be corrected. But there's a bunch ready. Not a real big bunch, but there's a lot of berries all the way down this row of trees here. Blueberries are looking fairly well. And these are the big ones that'll get as big as your thumb if we get some rain. The ones I showed you in the back the other day, those are all wild. Huckleberries and blueberries. So we're hoping we get that big push of rain tomorrow. Wet everything down. If not, I'll have to turn the sprinklers on. I've got to adjust those a little bit too. But there we go. That's what's happening on Saturday around here. She don't know what to think of the camera still. Alright. Yeah. You need to get in and out of this sun and rest. Listen to your old daddy. Whack him with something. Alright, we'll see something else here in just a little bit before we close this one out. Oh, one more thing. This is one of the pear trees. I was afraid we had lost them because it had bloomed out when it had the last frost. It almost come a frost this morning. But we got pears. Pretty cool. I didn't get around to pruning this tree this year like I should have. And that one over there has got some on it too. Mercy me, folks. I'm done for today. I've got this bed cleaned out, turned up. I put some mushroom compost in there. That is running speckled butter beans that'll run up on that fence, we hope. Onion sets over there. We could not find any onion sets except at Lowe's in the little bags. I waited too late, that's what happened, but that'll be a few. On this side I planted some Swiss chard. Lettuce. I don't know if it'll grow or not. I've never tried it. A buddy of mine over just not far from here tried it one time and grew a bunch of it. It's really good stuff, but who knows? I just tried it. Now this bed here, Mama got that one the rest of the way cleaned out. Nothing planted yet. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds to go to get cleaned out. And we are getting old. We cannot do it today. Now my green bean patch over here, planted. Now the last couple of years I have used Blue Lake green beans from a farm over in Mississippi. Nothing. 1 or 2 came up. Same with the purple hull peas. Nothing. So this year I scrapped all those. I hate to throw seed away, but if they're no good, they're no good. I bought all fresh seed from our local area here. What everybody else plants, what the big farmers plant, that works. It's always worked for me. I've got some seed from up north that was gave to me, and I really appreciate it. And I planted some of that in the last couple of years. Nothing. So maybe there's a climate type thing that's going on, but I just scrapped everything and I'm going with local seed. Not to badmouth anybody, just You know, and I don't have a lot of money invested, so it doesn't matter. It just, if it don't work, it don't work. What works here will not work in North Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio, Mississippi. And what works there won't work here. It's just one of them things. I tried 3 years in a row with some Texas Longhorn Okra that a good friend of mine sent me. Now, family strain, family heirloom seed. It will not work here. I don't know why, it won't. So the okra this year, these 2 rows, is Clemson Spineless, which has worked for years and years and years here. Now, before anybody says anything, my first garden was in 1970, and I have pictures. I dug up our backyard, or most of it. We lived in town, and I had to live where my parents lived. Wasn't my fault, but and I had me a garden. Did well. And with the exception of a couple of years when I was in the Army where we couldn't have one, and the last 2 years that I hadn't done anything out here because of health reasons, other than that, I've had a garden for probably 40 years or more. So I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the suggestions. But if you would, please just remember where you are. I don't mean to sound snippy, but we know what we're doing. We've done this for a long time. We took some time off and time to do it again. We have 2 big pressure canners. We know how to can, we know how to freeze, we know how to preserve. And that's what we're going to do this year. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this little mixed up video. I appreciate y'all watching. I thank you very much for that. Let's see, I'm all hot, sweaty, and tired. I got my okra picking hat off because it's all sweaty. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. And I'll see y'all next week from the knife shop.